Wasn't that intro so gosh darn cool?
Sick ass intro.
Yeah. Thank you. Happy Sunday. I almost said Saturday.
It's
Happy
Sunday
Sunday.
Comic Church.
It's Sunday Comic Church. So thank you everyone for being here. Wasn't that like intro to me? Like that's like the coolest freaking intro ever. I don't even know if Eman is here, but our friend C-List Eman did that. And like I couldn't even think of a more beautiful intro. Like seriously, he just did everything that I ever wanted in an intro, and I didn't even have to be like, this is exactly what I want. So Eman, if you're here, thank you for that awesome intro. I love it. We love you so much.
We love you.
Mars, how are you doing today, this week?
Sleepy. I feel like it's been a long week.
A long week.
It's too hot. The sun needs to go away. Yeah. I'm melting constantly, and just can it be eternal fall? That's all I want. Eternal fall.
That's exactly why I moved away from Florida. Like people are always like, oh, like Florida's beautiful and it's paradise there, and why would you leave? And I'm like, it is way too hot. It feels like you live inside someone's mouth perpetually. And in South Florida, it doesn't.
I don't like that metaphor. Living in somebody's mouth
That's what it feels like at all times. Like it rains a little bit and then it gets hotter because then the steam just comes up. So visit Florida, but I would not recommend living there whatsoever.
Would not recommend.
There are some people in the chat, and I want to go ahead and say hello. There have been people in the chat, like we've been backstage just kind of like bullshitting, and there's been people in the chat, and we're like, oh my God, there's people in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say hello to the beautiful people. First of all, Travis TM Nerdy. He and I actually got a chance to sit down and talk on Friday. So that was really cool. Can't wait for that to air because Travis TM Nerdy, you're one of my favorite people. Let's see who else. Hello to Thomas Jackman. Thank you for being here. My nerds, what up? Ooh, trying to painfully get through this Loki series. We have differing opinions. I loved it.
Or maybe similar opinions.
Wait, what? Oh my God. Okay, so this is going to be another hot take. Woke up and chose violence. Hello, Tashina, HK Wifey. Absolutely love you, beautiful, beautiful person.
Love you.
And then hello to Bobby. Thank you for being here. And then hey, it's you. Thank you for being here, Mars. Let's see here. Shane Lorison, hello. Thank you for being here. And then hello, Scott, one of my favorite Portland people. Even though we've never met in Portland. We've only met online on them internets.
On the internets.
On them internets. But that's how I like my friends on the internet. Hello to Sean, Puff Comics 83. Thank you for being here. Sith Lordly, hello. How's it going? Morning, Jen, and chat. Let's see here. And then hello to Banshee Queen. Thank you for being here, BB. Louis Logics, XXX. I love it. And okay, I really don't want to miss people. I wish there was a way I could have like some theme music. Hello to Niall. Thank you for being here. Oh, and then it skipped on me. Okay. Bronze Age Brian. Bronze Age Brian. Florida, I'm here now, is one click away from Hell's Heat. I lived there. I grew up in it. Like it's disgusting. I couldn't do it anymore. So I'm sad for everyone who's there. John Stout, I don't know if I said hello to you, but hello. I think that's maybe it. Hello to Manic23. Thank you for being here. And then hello. Brandon, you're not really too late. You did miss our awesome intro, but just go back and rewatch it. Or who knows, maybe I'll just play it in the middle just for some fun.
And we're starting off with a question of the day because last week Brandon gave us the question of the day, question of the week. Yeah. And we were like, we want more question of the weeks. And guess what? He follows up with a second one. So Brandon asked, who do we want to write Avengers after Jason Aaron? I have to pick, even though I've never read an Avengers book.
Yeah, this one's hard for me because even though I love Jonathan Hickman, I know he wrote it, but I've read maybe like 3 issues and that's about it. I immediately want to say Kelly Thompson, but I mean,
can I offer you in this morning hour?
Yeah.
A Tom King. No. That's just gonna be my answer every time. I'm just like Tom King. Tom King. No, okay,
it's too early for this.
All right, you want me to be serious? I do agree. I think Kelly Thompson right now. It feels like Kelly Thompson, everything she's ever written, aside from maybe her Captain Marvel series, which, you know, I feel like that was more editorial than it was from her. Kelly Thompson just seems to nail everything that she does and has a lot of fun with the characters she works with. So I don't know. She got me to like Black Widow. She got me to like West Coast Avengers. She got me to like, there's another series that I'm thinking it's gone, but there was another series. I don't know. Like Kelly Thompson write the Avengers. Let's see what happens. Let's make it fun. Oh, Hawkeye. Well, I already liked Hawkeye.
Oh, okay. Got
this character she made me like. Yeah. I already loved Hawkeye. So any writer who can make me not tolerate, but mildly enjoy Gwenpool, you know, kind of gets an A-okay. Like I haven't read enough, but I hated her, and now I kind of like. I'll read more. Listen, it's the channel is called Comics Will Break Your Heart, but maybe we should change it to Mars Will Break Your Heart. That seems more fitting.
Jennifer's heart every damn Sunday. This is the Heartbreak Sunday show,
and it's only the beginning, folks.
You get to watch Jennifer's heart get broken every single Sunday. Thank you for being here to watch this, friends. Marvel should bring in Robert Venditti for Avengers. His works on Green Lantern, Hawkman, and the current Tankers is epic.
I will say I did enjoy. I like his Hawkman, but I'm sick and tired of seeing basic straight white men write characters. Let's bring in some women. Let's bring in some queer folks. Let's bring in some people of color. Like, I'm sorry. I'm tired of every time I turn around. It's if Vita Joshua. Oh, I like that. Yes, yeah, I'll take a Vita.
They're doing some X-Men,
but it just feels like every time you turn around, it's Jason Aaron or Joshua Williamson or Brian Venditti or Scott Snyder or Tom King. You know.
Oh, Tom King, and you're like, basic white dudes shouldn't be doing. And you're like, but Tom King can be. I stand for this basic white man.
Listen, we all have our crutches, okay? Yeah. Yours is Jonathan Hickman.
Oh,
mine is Tom King.
Whew, but okay, I'm not even going to get into white.
Hear me out. Are we picking white writers? Hold on. Let me offer you. Let me slide Tom King off here, and let me offer you a Tom Taylor.
Yeah, I'm 100% here. You know what? I think.
Let me offer you a Ram V.
You know, as much as I love Ram V. As much as I don't know if Avengers would be it, but I would almost. Tom Taylor is definitely going to be it, and there was another one I was just thinking, but maybe we'll come back to that one. Let that one simmer and marinate, I guess. And
good question. I like these questions of the week that make us think. So again, this is our broadcast to you, chat. Give us some questions to answer each and every week, because it's a fun way to start the show. I feel like we start with violence.
We do. And so speaking of questions, I think we'll do these a little bit later. If you watched the Hero and the Kid show that I do on Fridays, I pulled these little suckers out. I got this game called Geek List, where you basically there's like a topic and you list a whole bunch of things. So like this one's coming up, and it's DC Comics characters. And then there's even like comic book characters that are color based, so like, you know, red, green, yellow, whatever. So I've got some of these, and we'll talk about those later too.
And I see in the chat Scott just posted Ram V on Doctor Strange, and I've never had the want or the need to read a Doctor Strange comic, but now I'm manifesting. I
think especially, okay, so here's what I want to do. I want Ram V to write a Doctor Strange comic and have Taika Waititi direct an adaptation of it, because I feel like that weird horror cosmic space stuff would just be like cool as hell.
Chef kiss. That's genius.
Beautiful. Genius. Mars, I need you to start manifesting, because you, speaking of like news and stuff, you've manifested a couple things, or maybe,
I did manifest.
What are some of the things that are going on in comics right now?
So we'll start with the manifestation, since you gave me that lovely segue. So a couple weeks ago, we had a little book come out called Nice House on the Lake under DC Black Label, and we brought up the topic of, this is a really, really great horror book, and we love this book. We can't talk about this book enough. But why is it that DC is sliding this under like a new label almost, rather than using Hill House Comics, which they had started back in 2019? It was a big deal. Joe Hill, blah, blah, blah. Why weren't they continuing to do anything with that? And then this week it was announced that Hill House Comics would be returning. And not only would it be returning, but we are getting a sequel, a direct spinoff to the acclaimed Basket Full of Heads. We are now getting a refrigerator full
of heads. And I feel like Gail Simone is just like, oh, there's going to be like too many ladies in there and they're going to get refrigerated.
Too many ladies. And while we're here and while we're talking about Basket Full of Heads, I know I mentioned this on Twitter, but the people like my hot takes and my hot opinions. This is my call to the Hill House Comics revitalization sequel, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
Stop making everything so white. I'm sick and tired. Yeah. Listen, I loved Basket Full of Heads. It was probably one of my favorite horror concepts that we've gotten in most recent years. It was very, very fun and very, very enjoyable. However, when I'm reading a book published in 2019 that is nothing but white people, I don't care if it's set in the 80s. It makes me a little uncomfortable, and I feel like this was a theme that we got with the rest of Hill House Comics. We got it with Daphne Bryn. We saw it with The Plunge, with The Dollhouse. The only book that wasn't was Low, Low Woods, and that's because it was written by a queer woman. So, Joe Hill, I know you're listening to this. Yeah. Tell your team we need more people of color,
more representation,
more representation
on the I think on all levels, right? So I think that and the comment was brought up, or the question was brought up last week, like, should only women be writing like female centric characters? And my answer is no, because then that gives the entire industry like an excuse, because most of the characters are not female. Or at least the ones that end up getting ongoing series. So, and the first Aquaman book that I read was by Kelly Sue DeConnick. Like, I hadn't ever read any Aquaman really before that. So that was the first one that I read was by her, and I'm very grateful for that. So I do think there was finally we're getting a Kelly Sue DeConnick book. She's been talking about it for a while. Historia.
We're finally getting Wonder Woman Historia. Listen, this book has been circulated since 2017. They were talking about this book. I want this book so bad. And finally, with the 80th anniversary of Wonder Woman come up, DC finally decided to release it. So Wonder Woman Historia is supposed to be like this alternate universe take on the Amazons. It's supposed to be very, very cultural and very diverse. Some of the designs coming out from is it Phil Jimenez? Or I think it's Phil Jimenez. I always get him and George confused. But the designs that are already leaking through from Phil Jimenez, I want this book more than life itself. I want good Wonder Woman 365 every day of my life.
And I think that are we getting a standard Nubia title as well?
We are.
By DC. And I think that it is it's written by someone else, but also Vita Ayala.
Yes, and that's very exciting, because Nubia had always felt like was one of these characters that DC only ever wanted to bring out of the closet, for lack of a better word, but never always wanted to bring them out when it was convenient for them. And it feels like with this new iteration of, we've got Wonder Girl Yara Flor, in which we see Queen Nubia, it feels like DC's finally bringing, more characters to the forefront. So that being said, DC Comics, since we're bringing, characters to the forefront, I'm manifesting. I want a Fire and Ice series. I preach about it constantly.
Until
I just want a Fire and Ice series. Make them gay, you cowards. Here, hold on. Here you go. Make them gay, you cowards. That's my pitch for DC Comics.
I love it. DC Comics. What's some other news from DC Comics? Anything else that got announced?
We're getting 5 more Batman series. Did anybody ask for that?
It's probably because I've just been talking about how many freaking Batman series there are, that they're like, you know what? The people are
You want Batman series? I've got plenty of them. That being said, we are getting a Batman-esque, Gotham-esque book by the creative team of Coffin Bound. Mm-hmm. So I think that could get a little weird, maybe a little psychedelic, a little gothy. Could be very, very fun. We're also getting DC Comics versus Vampires, which we saw 2 years ago. We saw Deceased with zombies. So I guess now we got to go and we got to do vampires. Yeah. And listen, I'm still living in 2014 Twilight era. You slap vampires on anything, especially superheroes. I am that market. I'm the target audience.
Yeah. I feel like I love horror, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just not here for another Batman book. That's I guess much. if there's a hot take. I don't know. It's not really a hot take.
It's a hot take.
But to me, I don't know. As long as maybe if they're singular series, I am kind of like burned out on events. So I'm really glad that we're not. I mean, you know, Infinite Future and or Infinite Frontier, whatever, Future State, and then because then there was like Year of the Villain, and then what was that? Batman Metal, and all of those, and I'm just Bat Metal. Kind of just burned out on that.
It's too much.
For sure. What's some other news? I know that the news that I was like, that's just kind of stuck in my brain because we did get the news a couple weeks ago about Something is Killing the Children being adapted into a TV show. And it's being done by the people who did Dr. Sleep. And now we're getting a spin-off series, so like a comic book spin-off series, House of Slaughter. I'm kind of excited for this.
I'm very excited. Something is Killing the Children is probably the biggest indie comic since Saga. It literally blew up the market, literally, and it's not surprising. If I'm being quite honest with you, I'm actually surprised it took them this long to capitalize on success of another series. My only hope is that, you know, with spinoffs, sometimes things can be a little weak. So I'm only hoping that, you know, it kind of gets that Black Hammer treatment where the spinoff titles are just as good, and not only just as good, but they can be standalone type series. I've got a feeling it's going to be it's definitely going to be one of the big books this year. Without speculating, because we are not a spec channel, but...
Are we though?
We're hypothetical guessers.
Okay, there we go. We're educated.
Educated guessers.
We're educated speculate. I don't know what we are, but
I don't know.
We're definitely we're not gonna be those people that are like, this person is coming up in the movies, better go buy all their first appearance and the first costume and this and that. But speaking of which, I don't know if you're ready to segue. What are your thoughts on Loki? And I have thoughts on Loki and what I think is going to be the next thing.
I was bored as fuck, yo. Last episode, I was so... Listen, hear me out. Okay, if you haven't seen Loki, close your ears, because I'm going to yell who shows up at the end of Loki.
Yeah, so really quick, you know what? Do I have a spoilers banner really quick?
Spoiler banner.
Probably should have one.
Because I feel like I can't really talk about my thoughts without mentioning who shows up at the end of Loki.
I mean, it's been a couple days.
And it's kind of just all over the internet. So I'm giving you 5 seconds now. Close your ears. 5.
There's even the little thing on the bottom.
4.
You know, we're gonna say
3, 2, 1. Kang the fucking Conqueror shows up, and he was precious. He was kind of adorable. He's played by the lead actor of Lovecraft Country, and while I can't think of his name right now, I absolutely adore this man.
Jonas.
I understand that what he was saying, you know, my brain, I have a dumb brain. Like, listen, I have a dumb brain. I need stimulation or else I start to fall asleep. So my brain wasn't comprehending really what he was saying, but it's his little ticks and his little antics and the way he kind of just skitters around. You know, I kind of really enjoyed that. But it seems like Loki is bringing us into the new saga of Avengers, which people are now dubbing the multiverse saga, which, listen, I'm here for that. I don't need a big Thanos level threat. Let me just see some really great, fun, isolated stories taking place in the multiverse. So
I honestly think so. I haven't heard the multiverse. I really like that. I'm excited to see where that goes. Um, I feel like we have been thinking that we're going to get Secret Invasion by Marvel. I feel like since Captain Marvel and like the scrolls and everything, everyone's been talking about Secret Avenger or Secret Invasions. I really think that we're going to get Secret Wars. Is I think going to be like the next movie event. Is going to be Secret Wars.
What if they secretly do Battle World? Do you remember Battle World?
I do, and Battle World is a part of that. So I think that that's for me because it's like Enchantress is there and Kang is there, and it's basically like a group of the X-Men come together, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, like kind of all come together and battle this like who's who of the Marvel universe, kind of, because Galactus is there. So I think that they're going, in my opinion, I think that they're going to build up to Secret War the way that they kind of built up to in the Infinity stuff with Thanos. That's where I think that they're going. That's like literally like the bandwidth that I have for speculation with this.
I'm starting to zero in on a comment. Yeah, what is that? Doom rips this. Listen, I'm a little baby when it comes to Marvel. Like I should be surprised and proud that I dropped a Battle World. Like, listen, I'm proud of myself for knowing that. But what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? How? Whomst? Why don't they just make out instead? I don't know.
You know, that's my speculation. That's what I'm going to manifest. Doctor Doom and Galactus and Thanos can just like make out. I think that's going to be what happens.
Can we throw Magneto in there too?
Magneto will be backstage with me. Sorry. Sorry. I'll share, but you know.
I don't know. I don't know. It definitely is going to impact stuff, but in terms of the finale of Loki, especially with the episode we got previously, which was action packed and it was so much fun, and it was a joyride. It felt like a cosmic journey. It felt like that final episode was just monologuing and talking, and it was exposition and dialogue for what's to come, and it's like, I don't want that in the last episode. I want to see this. My goo goo gaga brain. Listen, I have goopy goblin brain. My goopy goblin brain.
You heard it here first, folks.
My goopy goblin brain wants to see shit blow up, wants to see people fight. And we saw people fight a little bit, but it's like, I don't know. I just wanted more. We're getting a season 2, which I'm actually really confused about, because if I was under the impression that all of these little Disney Plus series were isolated series. And it feels like just because y'all Twitter hoes were thirsting over Tom Hiddleston on his knees.
That was me. That was you. I'm pretty sure 90% of that was me.
Just 90% of that was you.
Loki in like perfect form. Like the goodest boy he is, on his knees with the collar and just with his little hands in his lap. I just want to give that boy some forehead kisses, y'all. He deserves them. He's the goodest boy.
He is a good boy.
Sorry, being a little bit thirsty on Maine here.
A little thirsty on Maine.
I'm pretty sure that's
Sunday morning at Comic Church.
Yeah. Tom Hiddleston can get it. Yeah. I really enjoyed the Loki finale. Were there moments where it was very tense? Like I felt that emotional roller coaster where it was like, I'm here. What are they doing? Oh no. Okay, maybe they got it. Oh no, they don't. Okay, like the two are fighting, and then I see Sylvie and Loki finally kiss.
And I still don't know how I feel about it.
I feel so many wonderful things about that. I wanted them to kiss like since episode 2, 3.
I mean, I did too, but it doesn't mean that I'm okay with it. I am conflicted. But I have the most important question about the Loki finale series.
What's your question?
Where is Alligator Loki? Is he okay? Is he alive?
That is true. Where is Alligator Loki?
I need confirmation from Kevin Feige that Alligator Loki is fine in his little swimming pool and that he's getting his own miniseries.
And then he's there and he gets snacks. Can someone just make sure that Alligator Loki is being fed all the best snacks?
Someone just make sure that boy is okay. Because listen, the best thing that you can take away from the entire Loki season is Alligator Loki. Like, let me be honest with you. That's the highlight of the entire show.
Go check out Scott's stories on Instagram. He's in the stories.
Alligator Loki. I just love a good boy.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody who is petrified of alligators.
Really? Yeah, don't ever go to Florida.
I am petrified of alligators, but Alligator Loki is the most precious. Listen, I'm the girl that loves sharks, calls sharks little babies, and is petrified of alligators. But maybe Alligator Loki will break the curse.
Maybe this is like your like character development.
My character development.
I would 100%. Here's my kind of like overall thought on it. I do think that I thought that the series was excellent. There were not many episodes that I just hated. I think that the last episode was a little bit slower than it needed to be, and it was for very, very, very clear reasons. The last episode of Loki was drawn out. But I think that overall the series was excellent. I still really enjoyed it. I really wanted certain things to happen. Like I really wanted what's the person's name? Hunter B-15 or something like that. I really just wanted it to be revealed that that's Angela's lover, Sarah. Maybe we'll get it in season 2. I'm going to be hoping because I really just want to see Angela in the MCU a lot.
100%.
That's my hot take.
Hot takes.
What other news do we have? I'll go ahead and take the spoiler banner down. What other news do we have?
The only other news that I can think of is some wonderful news that I think some groundbreaking news from our pals over at Mad Cave Studios, who, if you are a fan of our show, you know that we absolutely adore Mad Cave Studios. They publish some of the most amazing series right now. Stargazer, well, some of these are finished, but Stargazer, Dryfoot, Terminal Punks, Vexstar, they are Nottingham. They are a publisher on the rise that I feel like is going to rival Volt Comics one day, who is another publisher that we desperately both love.
Aftershock, I feel like Mad Cave is really like coming up there. Like you said, Vault Comics and Aftershock, I feel like are at the top of their game. And I feel like the consistency that I've gotten from Mad Cave has almost been better than what I've seen from Aftershock. So
I agree because there's consistency there. But Mad Cave announced something that, you know, I've thought about for a while, how comic books and comic dynamics will change. And they announced something that I think is going to change, is what I'm hoping will change the way that we look at comics forever. And that is when you do a subscription for a series of theirs, you get the digital copies of the single issues as they release, just like you would normally on Comixology or on the Marvel app. You would get those single issues. However, once the series is completed, you then get a copy of the trade paperback for free. So it's essentially them saying, okay, well, you're buying our series as it comes out, but rather than you buying these single issues, which a lot of people don't always have the room for or the want for, but maybe they want to read the series. I'm that type of person where I'm like, oh, is this a series that I'm really going to want to keep in my collection, all 6, 12, whatever issues, or am I just going to trade wait? Guess what? Now I can do both. So Mad Cave Studios doing this is insane. And in a good way. It's just insanity because it's me wondering how publishers have not thought about this before. I desperately hope that Volt will follow suit on this. Aftershock, maybe Image. I think that all comic book companies need to follow suit on this trend because it's going to save a lot of time, money, space, and just everything.
I think I like this idea a lot, but I think that my heart will always, like anytime initiatives like this get announced, how does it affect local comic book stores? Because essentially that would be taking all the money away from local comic book stores.
This is true.
So I
did not think of this, and now I am sad.
Yeah. Because then if you're not buying the book single issues, then you're not going to your comic book store every week. And then if you get it, so you're basically getting the single issues digitally, and then you get sent a physical copy of the trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like this idea, but once again, I mean, it gives money directly to the publisher, which I think eventually publishers will start doing, so then they don't have to worry about the middle person of the local comic book store and Diamond and whatever distributor that they're using. But I do think that it leaves out the most important piece of the puzzle, which are local comic book stores, which, especially for local comic book stores that hand sell their comics, that are really good about like providing information to their customers about single issues, and like news stories. How are people going to find out about it other than joining a mailer list?
True. You're right.
I like the idea, but I think because I know that what was Scout Comics, even though I don't necessarily like the idea of this like comic tag, I think that at least gives a way for local comic book stores to at least make some money off of it. Off of this process where like you buy a comic book tag that looks like a tiny little mini comic book, and then you get it basically gives you a code for a digital comic book.
Mm-hmm.
So
something we'll have to think about.
Yeah. So I feel like there is this blend of like, I think that it's a great idea, especially for people like me who I end up buying a whole bunch of single issues and a whole bunch of variant covers, and then I end up buying the trades, and then I'm like left with literally like 3 or 4 copies of one book. So I think that this would minimize space, would do things like that. But then I'm addicted to going to my local comic book shop every Wednesday. So where does that leave that? So Bronze Age Brian says, that's where I'm at with new comics. I want to read comic books, but I have issues keeping all of those issues 100%. And I'm like, I've probably got like 6 long boxes here that I'm just full of stuff I want to sell, and I'm not selling it. So someone buy my books, basically, if you want them. What else? Anything else?
That's all I can think of for news.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like there was a lot of announcements this week, but then it also feels like we talked about all the announcements. So where does that leave us now?
We've got issues.
We have issues, literally. We have issues.
Was probably the lightest week I have had in like a year.
It's so light.
This is weird.
It is weird. I had the same thing. It's so weird. And yeah. I have a couple issues missing.
And I think, yeah. But one of the good things is that I finished pretty much all of my reading. I think the only thing that I wanted to do was go back and read Die number 18 again. Yeah.
I'm a little bit behind.
That's okay. I'm still a little bit behind in other ways, but
I will say this is the first week I've had in a long time where I don't have a single superhero book from DC or Marvel. The only like DC book I picked up this week was the second printing cover of Nice House on the Lake, which Nice House on the Lake right now, first printing is now going for what, $15-20, and the second printing right. Second print just came out, and let me tell you, I love the second printing more than I love the first. You get this really cool distressed take on it. It looks like things are burned up and beaten up.
Did you see the third printing?
There's a third printing already?
There's a third printing already, and it's basically the same cover, but even more distressed. Okay. So I think that would be really cool. Like, let this book go to like 8th printing where like you barely, like it really looks crumbly. That's what I'm looking.
Really I'm looking up this third printing right now because I want to see this.
So if you haven't already been able to catch this book, I feel like this book is the next Something is Killing the Children. So I think that if you can pick it up for $15 now, okay, let me preface this. This is me being a speculator, and I deeply apologize for that. But I think that if you can pick this book up right now, I know I'm doing it. If you can pick this book up now for $15, maybe pick a couple of copies up, go ahead and send it off to CGC and try to get one graded at a 9.8. This is going to be a Something is Killing the Children, where now it's selling for $500, $600, whatever.
That's light. I saw
book.
it for $800 the other day, and I was like, y'all are insane.
Yeah. So I do think that if you are of a speculator's mind, if you do want to flip books, I think now is the good time to go ahead and buy this book. Buy number one. Both the cover, that and the variant cover, I really enjoy. So
it's just
that's
weird,
me.
y'all.
That's me speculating. The only book that I got that was like a superhero book, and it's from Marvel, is going to be Sinister War. I only picked up the variant cover. I didn't pick up the A cover.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like this book. It could have been any other Spider-Man book ever, and didn't really do it for me.
Womp.
Did anyone else read this book and really enjoy it? Because I just felt like there was nothing new in this. It's all of, the Sinister Six coming over. It didn't do it for me. I'm so sorry. Someone explain Spider-Man to me.
We need Spider-Man. Show me the pictures. Show me the lore of Spider-Man.
Show me. I need pictures of Spider-Man, damn it. That's me and my J. Jonah Jameson.
You're J. Jonah Jameson. So then I take it then that we just have we have a nice little indie haul.
It really is. I think the only other thing that I got, I did get two other things that were Marvel. Mm-hmm. Did you get any other Marvel anything?
Hell no, I didn't get any Marvel.
Okay. The two things that I got, I did get Dr. Aphra because, I love Dr. Aphra so much. This one was a really fun read. They're basically at a party, and Han Solo is about to be sold to Jabba the Hutt. So Jabba the Hutt makes an appearance in this. Buys the.
But what about his cousin Swallow the Hutt?
Swallow the Hutt did not appear in this, as far as I saw. But if you know about Dr. Aphra, you know that she pissed off Darth Vader and has kind of been on the run. She does, spoiler alert, she does see him at the end of the book, and she's like, fuck, if Darth Vader sees me, I'm dead.
I gotta get out of there.
Yeah. So that's basically what happens. Really good issue. I really hope that if people are not reading this single issue by single issue, they are reading it by trade.
I have to catch up. It's been a while.
Apparently, Brandon is going to explain Spider-Man to me. Hit me up, man. I get Sinister War and I get all this, but I just did not like this book. So the other book that I got by Marvel, Aliens Aftermath. This is what I wish the Aliens book was.
That's the one that takes place after the movie, right?
Yep.
Okay.
This is honestly what I thought that the other...
Is Weyland Yutani the good one in this book too?
I mean...
Are they the good guy, Jen?
I'm just here for the aliens, okay? And this one had a sufficient amount of aliens for me because, like I said, with the other aliens coming through, there weren't enough aliens. And I couldn't even tell you who the artist is on the other aliens book, but I like the artwork on this one better.
It's the alien book we deserved.
This is the alien book that we deserved. I really would. This should have been the alien book, and it wasn't. So then I don't even know if we're gonna get like more, if this was a one shot or what, but this was so much better than the other aliens. Okay, what did you get? The rest is indies. We can talk about indies.
What did I get? So the first one I'll talk about because I don't want to forget about it. It is Seven Secrets number. I don't know what number it is because I don't have it here, so we're just gonna pretend. 11. I left it in my office at work, but I did read it. So we're going to talk about Seven Secrets, so don't forget about it. I can't stress. I feel like every month we talk about Seven Secrets, or I talk about Seven Secrets. I talk about how amazing it is and how perfect it is and how wonderful it is. And something dawned on me with this month's issue, and it's just the amount of women of color that are at the forefront of this book. And not just women of color, but people of color in general. You know, we have Caspar, who is a young black male. We have his mother, Eva, who is, one of the most badass women I've ever seen in my whole life. We have the Queen of frickin' England, who is presented as a black woman. And she kind of does some cool stuff in this issue. And just, I never want this series to end, and I painfully and desperately beg for an adaptation of Seven Secrets, not only so I can lust over Eman, because he is probably one of the most attractive comic book characters since everybody who ever appeared in Saga, but
I agree.
I just want to see Seven Secrets adapted. I feel like this is a book that not enough people are talking about, not enough people are reading about, and I am here to tell you for the 100th time, if you are not reading Seven Secrets, please read Seven Secrets. There are anime influences. There's really cool action. It's Tom Taylor, so you know that the book is going to get really, really fucking emotional, and it's just a really good time. So, Seven Secrets, man, I just want more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah. I've talked about it before where I would have never read this book again. I would have never picked it up again if it wasn't
for me yelling at you.
Literally yelling about it. And
oh no, we lost Jen. She loved Seven Secrets so much that she ran off to go and tell the rest of the world about it. But it's just one of those books that it makes you feel good and it makes you excited for the next issue. And I think the thing about Seven Secrets that I just love so much is the fact that I almost did not pick up this book, and now it's my favorite series.
Yeah. Sorry, I got cut out there when my Wi-Fi cut out, but I would have never picked this book up if it wasn't for you screaming about it. And I read the first issue and I hated it, and I tried to read it a second time and I just didn't like it. And I think that, like, I'm not gonna lie, what made me hate it even more was that you were like, this is the next Saga, and I'm like, fuck you. Like, you do not say those words lightly around me, because Saga is literally the best. And I definitely see where you're coming with that. Where I think that it's underrated. Anyways, I really do like this book. I did pick up the previous issue and I picked up this week's issue, but I think that I'm behind on those. So I may just trade weight on that one. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I still love you because you're still reading it. Payback
for Swamp Thing.
Also, John, you are now dead to me.
That, like, literally,
John, so you're dead to me.
John knows. John, I think that you were hanging out with Dan and I when we were talking about that week of comics. That was the DAP week of comics. So there's WAP weeks or WAP weeks, and there's DAP weeks. That was just a bad week of comics for me, and that was one of the reasons why. But
it's fine.
What are some of the other books that you picked up?
Well, we did see the final issue of a series that we both enjoy very, very much. Do you want to get your last little haha in?
Haha, I'll never stop. If I have to bring up this book every single week just so I can do a haha, I totally will. This final issue.
This issue was dark.
It was so dark, but it was fantastic, and it was like heartbreakingly perfect in the way that it needed to be. There, spoiler alert, there is, someone dies by suicide. Sorry. But it was kind of beautiful and poetic. I still feel like it ended on a happy note. I honestly could do 100 more issues of haha.
Oh, 100%. I'm actually, I'm so shocked that this is only 6 issues, and I can't wait for the trade to come out so I can binge it again. There were definitely some hit or miss issues, I think, with this series, especially more so towards the end. I still stand firmly that issue 3, the silent issue that nobody liked, is the best issue in the whole series, but that's just me.
For me, the first one was the best one, but I liked the mime. I hated the old lady. You know that. I hated the old lady issue.
I hated the one.
So
I hated the other one, the one right before the old lady, and I hated it so much. I can't even
type character.
Can't even tell you what happened. But I will say we do get at one point. There is a splash page where we do get everybody back. And we even get a skeleton of the old ice cream man. So it's you were hoping for a crossover with the final issue, and we didn't really get a crossover, but we did get some throwbacks, which I think were really, really cool. But haha, it's just, I'm sad that this series is over. It feels like all of my favorite series are ending. We lost this one, we lost Stray Dogs, There was another series that ended. It just feels like, I don't know. I personally feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're at this weird point in comics where at the beginning of the year we had so many series that were just like, it felt like every week we were adding things to our pool list. You know, we had books like Luna, which now granted Luna didn't, we didn't really like Luna at the end of it. We had Hollow Heart, we had Witch Blood, we had we had Stray Dogs, we had all these series that we were adding to our pool list, and it felt like at one point my pool list was at 20 or 30 books.
And then you have weeks like this where it's like,
but it's like all of these series are ending, and it feels like there hasn't really been anything yet to kind of supplement. So I'm hoping I'm okay with a little bit of a lull, because I feel like October, November, we might ramp it right back up again. So my wallet appreciates it.
For sure. Speaking of anthology series and Image comics, I can't recall if you are still picking up Silver Coin.
I am not. I was going to trade weight it, but I was in the damn shop this week, and I saw that this week's issue was written by Jeff Lemire. And I was like, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Just wait for the trade.
Did you do it?
I did not do it. Was it good?
It was very good. I really enjoyed it. But here's the thing. Hear me out. I don't think that a lot of people will like this just because it's weird sci-fi. And I think
Lemire does.
As Lemire does. And speaking of which, I know that you had talked about Sentient. Everything that I hear about Sentient, I feel like I would love, and I still haven't picked up Sentient, which I really need to. I feel like this feels like what Sentient would be, but someone finds the silver coin, which is cursed way in the future. I guess the year is 2467. So if you like weird sci-fi like I do, and you like maybe Blade Runner, or for the literature people who love Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, I feel like you would really like the vibe of this, because it's here you go. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, but I can definitely see how people wouldn't enjoy this. I know that John's Comics with Kids hated issue 2 or 3. I could see him hating this.
It looks like Everything Comics also did not like this month's issue because they were confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely see that. So I think that there's going to be a lot of people who pick this up in trade, which I really hope you do, because there's probably 1 or 2 more issues left, and we should get a trade.
I think 1 or 2 more issues. The trade has already been solicited. I believe that it comes out within the next month or so, right alongside Stray Dogs. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of, I feel like that's what's going to happen, at least with me personally, is there's not going to be a lot of issues that I'm picking up, but it feels like all of those books that I've been trade waiting for, Silver Coin, Stray Dogs, even though I read it by issue, I want the trade. 2 Moons, another Image title that I really enjoyed the first issue of, but not enough to collect it in singles, and I wanted to trade weight,
Well, apparently now 2 Moons is getting a spin-off series, or a second volume, a second arc. I think it is going to be featuring a different main character.
That's interesting.
So yeah, I think that that'll be really fun, because 2 Moons was really good. It got wacky and it got weird, basically shamanistic drug experiences in the Civil War, which just, I actually really like Civil War, I don't want to say mythology type stuff, but I do really enjoy
the history behind it.
Mm-hmm. So, and especially that way when people are like, the Civil War was fought over states' rights, then I can just fucking obliterate people. That's the only reason why I know a lot about the Civil War. So anyways, I really like 2 Moons. It's getting a new second arc spin-off series. I think one of those series that's coming out later this year. So pretty excited for that.
It is pretty exciting.
I've got 1 other Image comic book.
I have no other Image comics. I don't think I have. I mean, unless are you counting Die, because I have not read the last 2 issues.
Got it. So I'm not talking about Die. That's on the other side of my 400 square foot apartment, and I'm not going there. So the other book that I'm referring to is Maneaters the Cursed. I almost didn't pick this one up. I almost didn't. I kind of wish. Yeah, I kind of wish that I hadn't, because it wasn't really that great. I think that I read Maneaters, the volume, the first volume. I had been keeping up with that. Really enjoyed it. dumb shit came out because I feel like Chelsea Kane just
You mean the dumb shit that Chelsea, but let's just call it as it is. Let me play devil's advocate. Chelsea Kane's a fucking turf.
Oh,
and
100%.
At least on this side, we don't support that shit. So I had Man Eaters on the back burner. I had the first issue. As soon as that news came out, listen, I love the concept of Man Eaters. It feels like it should have been the next Bitch Planet. But when you write a feminist-centric book and you don't include trans women in your feminist mythology or mythos or story, she can go sit on a bench with J.K. Rowling and have herself a nice cup of tea.
And I think the thing is that was pointed out to her, obviously not very delicately, because she then took those tweets at her and like put them in the background, basically, like, I don't know. I was kind of hoping for a redemption arc here, and I didn't really enjoy this anyways. It wasn't a very great book. I liked the cover though, because there's moths on it and it's pretty. So maybe I'll just like cut this out and just like do arts and crafts with it. That was basically like kids going to craft camp, but it's like a secret. I don't know. I didn't really like it. 0 out of 10 would not really recommend. So
0 out of 10. Fuck turfs.
Fuck turfs. So those were the only things that I got that were Image. The rest is like maybe 30% Dark Horse, 30% Aftershock, and 30% other.
Jen, I did a thing I wasn't gonna do.
Oh my god. Okay, so hold on. Is it either you picked up You Promised Me Darkness, or you picked up Cult of Dracula?
No, but you're very close.
Okay, so there's probably
you're in the right
Deep Beyond?
No, you're in the right area. I promised ourselves a couple shows ago that I would never pick up another Behemoth comic.
Oh no. Which Behemoth comic book came out this week?
I picked up Spare Parts, which is supposed to be an adaptation of, I guess, a new Grindhouse series by the same, or Grindhouse movie, I guess, by the same name. Hear me out.
Is it good?
I really liked this issue, but here's the problem. It's a one-shot, and then you have to go and watch the movie. It's kind of like prequel. Hear me out. Okay, that's fine and dandy. I can't do gore. That's why I picked up the comic, because I know that if I watch this movie, and I kind of want to watch this movie, I will vomit uncontrollably, because I am a weak little baby, and while I proclaim that I am a spooky girl, blood and guts terrify the shit out of me, and I have the weakest stomach of anybody I know. But I really enjoyed this book about women that get kidnapped, and this is not a good way to lead, that get kidnapped, have their limbs amputated and replaced with knives and chainsaws, and then have to fight to the death.
I am really sad I didn't get that book. I think that I saw it at my LCS, and I'm like, I'm really not feeling Behemoth. Like, I'm not doing it again. Their stuff has been so, I'm not even going to say hit or miss, because it's just been absolutely miss on so many levels. But now I'm mad that I didn't pick that up. I was thinking.
Do you want to know something though?
No.
Maybe Behemoth should just stick with adaptations, because the last book that we really enjoyed,
A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
A Girl Walks Home at Night, which was also an adaptation of a horror movie. So, Behemoth, if you're listening to me, stop publishing original material without editors. Keep doing licensed material, because apparently that's where you thrive at. That sounds mean. I don't know what to tell you. But between Freak Snow, You Promised Me Darkness, and there was another Behemoth book that we really did not enjoy. But here's the thing: if you don't pick this up, you're also not missing a lot.
Okay.
I forgot I had this pre-ordered. I guess I had this pre-ordered before my Behemoth strike.
Probably whenever like Behemoth was doing good things, and we're like, oh, like A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night was so good. They've got this other book coming out called You Promised Me Darkness that looks really, really interesting, and we're gonna order that too, and let's order this other one while we're at it.
Yeah, but that was my, how I always yell at you for picking up books like, Cult of Dracula, like You Promised Me Darkness, like Alien.
You are forgetting Casual Fling.
I am forgetting Casual Fling.
But that wasn't Behemoth, that was AWA.
That wasn't Behemoth, but it's the idea of why do you keep doing this to yourself? I finally got to have moments.
Sorry, Tyler. We're really, I'm going to try to just trash, but I mean, I really try not to trash books. Mars, on the other hand, is just like, I will trash literally every book. I'm just kidding. I think that it's like a good blend.
She's right, though.
We're very honest about the books that we do and don't like. So as much as we're like, I picked up this dumbass book and I can't believe that I spent this dumb bitch money on comic books again this week after doing it every other week. But we're going to be honest about the books that we don't like. So if you keep picking books up, even though we're like, I hated this book, that's on you, friend.
Yeah. Hashtag hear me out, as John said.
Hashtag hear me out.
Hashtag hear me out. If I like a book, I will talk about it for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't like a book, I will trash it for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rude 6. Yeah. Cult of Dracula, I feel like I'm
the most gorgeous covers ever imaginable.
They're seriously beautiful, and I can't even stand to look at them because they're so beautiful, and I hated them. I hated the book so much.
Because we know what's inside.
Yeah, so I'm making... This is my up point in my character arc swing where I'm making progress because I'm still not picking them up even despite the beautiful cover.
She will when she finds them in a dollar bin, though.
You're right. When you're right, you're right.
I will too.
Thank you to everyone who's in the chat right now. Talking. I love seeing everyone just greet each other and saying hello. That's seriously Mars will kind of go on I don't want to say a rant, but Mars will start getting really passionately talking about things. Tangents. And I'm sitting here reading everyone say hello, hey friend, and I love it. So please continue doing that. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to throw out one of those. Don't forget to like and subscribe, friends.
And hit that notification bell.
So yeah. You know what? Since Bob is here in the chat right now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this one. Kanto. Kanto's going on some side quests. And this book is seriously, I think that the interior art and the writing is just so heartfelt. And I really love this. One of the best books, I feel like. I'm really glad that Bob introduced this to me because I would have never read it otherwise. It's really, really good. David Booher is a sweetheart. Really, I hope people are picking up Kanto. It's really hard to find the first issues, especially because there was kind of a low print run, and then it ended up getting a movie adaptation announcement, and it's especially hard to find. But then Kanto's been this is the issue #1 for Lionheart. They've been getting some spin-offs.
I feel like every time you turn around, there's a new spin-off, which is insane for
He's going on some side quests. It's really adorable.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some side quests. Oh.
So I think that, I think everyone should read the first trade, go and read the Hollow Men and all of that, and, pick these up because they're really cute. Okay. That's your... Go read Kanto. Yeah.
Your go read Kanto.
Mm-hmm.
What
else did you get?
What other books? I'm gonna save my favorite book for last, but I will still talk about a book that I really, really enjoyed this week.
I know what book that is, and I know that it was one of my least favorite books of the week.
So you know what book is my favorite?
I think so.
Okay.
Was it a #1?
Yes. We'll place our bets. Our bets, ladies and gents.
Yeah.
So the book that I kind of really, really liked this week was #1. It was Beyond the Breach.
Oh, I thought that was that was what I was going to say was your favorite book of the week.
No, this was not my favorite book of the week, but I actually really, really enjoyed this. So, for those of you that don't know, I fucking love kaiju. I love Godzilla. I love Pacific Rim. This is the type of book that I want. I love shit like this. Beyond the Breach basically tells a story about this girl who finds out that her boyfriend has been cheating on her.
With her sister.
With her sister. So fuck you and fuck her. Literally. You already did. Ha 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 ha. So she decides she's going to go on a road trip and just find herself and love herself. And then kaiju strike, and then she has to save a little boy, and the little boy's really fucking annoying, and I want to punt him across the football field.
That's probably why I hated this book, because I hated that little kid. I do not like kids, folks. I'm really, really sorry.
Except for John's kids. We love John's kids.
John's kids don't even count. Like, his kids are literally the best. Like, seriously though, like, John's kids is probably like the only kids that I'm like, okay, like maybe I'd have kids because they're great. But
I really liked, like, I like the concept of this book. I have some issues with it, which I will kind of talk about. It is a little bit slow, but I feel like it's gonna not rival We Live, but it gives me We Live vibes, because I really, really loved We Live.
yeah.
And I feel like it's been a while since there was an Aftershock book that I kind of liked. You know, as much as We Live, this is kind of close, but not touching it, but it is very close.
Especially with the like post-apocalyptic feels, where it's like kind of like that going into post-apocalyptic. I don't know.
But we see, you know, as we see with a lot of these Aftershock first issues, where we've seen some supplementary content in the back, you know, with Nuclear Family, we saw, you know, the rules of how to spot a communist. With We Live, we saw, you know, these kind of Fallout vibes where they explain some of the lore.
With Shadow Doctor, I mean, not necessarily that it was like really supplementary, but it was like, hey, these stories from Shadow Doctor are real. Here's kind of the backstory, because the author, his grandfather is basically like who it was based off of. So, yeah, you're right. Aftershock has been doing a lot of that.
Has been doing that with their number ones. And with this one, we see, you know, kind of like a to-do list for the road trip. And not only do we find out that our main character is in Portland, but we find out that on their to-do list, they want to go to Powell's Books.
Yeah.
Which, if you watch our show, you know that we are sponsored, but not really sponsored by Powell's Books.
Yeah. Powell, I've given Powell's way too much of my money. But I am it's funny because when I read this, I was like, oh, like this is what Mars was talking about when she sent me that. And I have one kind of like point of contention, and I just want to, as someone who lives in Portland, I just want to be that person who says this. If you are coming to Portland and you use this as your guide to like do Portland things, in here it does say like go to Powell's, which 100% you should go to Powell's books, but do not go to Voodoo Donuts. Go to Blue Star Donuts instead. To me, they are the superior donut shop. Or if you are near Powell's, there's another donut place called Phil's Donuts that are really good, and I would highly recommend Phil's Donuts more than Voodoo. So that's kind of my hot take there.
There's a hot take. But here's my gripe with Into the Breach.
That was my gripe.
Beyond the Breach.
Yeah.
Here's my gripe with Beyond the Breach. And it kind of is my gripe with the next book that I'll talk about. Why are both of these books, one being a number 1 and one being a number 2? Why are both of these books $4.99? Aftershock. Hear me out. Why are you making me pay $5 a book? I can kind of understand why a number 1 would be $5. We did see last month, we saw that Bunny Mask number 1 was also $5. And while I don't agree with it, okay,
shit,
you do give us some really cool supplementary material in the back of your number 1. So I'm like, okay, that warrants the extra $1. This is number 2.
But number 2?
Why is number 2 also $5? I don't have that type of money. Listen,
you know, that's maybe, hear me out. Maybe they're paying their creators more.
I get that, but
because sorry.
Do you see how many comics I read a month? Do you see how many comics I got on these shelves? I don't have that type of cash, Jen. Listen, I miss the days. Remember the days when they announced DC Rebirth? Yes, I'm going back on my DC bullshit. Do you remember back in the days, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when they announced DC Rebirth, and Dan Video made the solid promise: no book will go above $2.99.
Lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Lie detector test has determined that is a lie.
Yeah.
I miss those days. Can we please? When is the last time that anybody has picked up a book that was $2.99? It has been a hot minute.
Maybe Spawn. Isn't Spawn still $2.99?
It might be, but I am not picking up Spawn. I'm not picking up Spawn. I just miss. It feels like $3.99 is the new norm, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But if
and
DC
maybe
Comics
$1 more for a nice cardstock cover,
and
that
that's fine.
I understand, because most of those cardstock covers are beautiful. Like, I love, not necessarily that I'm just like touching and feeling, but they feel nice and fancy.
They do. They do, but I'm sick and tired. It feels like every time you turn around, this book is $5.99. This book is $6.99. We have DC and Marvel that are doing books that are $9.99. I can't sponsor me, and then I'll buy more. But I can't keep doing the $4.99 stuff. But let's.
I didn't even realize.
Let's talk about Bunny Mask number 2. Did you read Bunny Mask number 2?
I did. I really enjoyed it. Sorry. Mars hates me now. And really quick, I do just want to say, Bob, let's hang out and go get some Blue Star donuts, man. They're seriously my favorite donut place in town. Let's get some donuts sometime. Yeah, Bunny Mask, I think, was one of my favorite reads of the week, actually. Sorry, I know you hate me now, but
oh no,
I really liked it. I really liked it.
You know what? I really liked number 1. I really enjoyed number 1, and I was constantly, and I did something with Bunny Mask number 2 that I never do. I picked up a number 2 off the shelf. You know, I'm a will they won't they type gal, and I typically do not pick up number 2s unless it is on my pull list. And I was like, I saw it, and I was like, I keep thinking about the first issue. Let me pick up number 2, and I really hated this, and here's why. Here is why. This is a grown-ass man trying to fuck a little girl that he went through trauma with. A little girl. Not only that, but his roommate. His roommate is constantly, are you going to fuck her yet? Have you fucked her yet? Have you guys did the do yet? I am wildly uncomfortable. And listen, age differences are fine. Listen, I have no problem with an age difference. My parents are 15 years apart. Age differences don't bother me. But when you went through trauma with somebody when they were a child and you were a grown-ass man.
But hear me out. I don't think, like, I don't necessarily think he wants. He
wants to boink her, Jen. He just doesn't know how to do it.
Okay, but here's the thing. Yes, they did have shared trauma together, but it's been how many years? So it's not like they've been coexisting in this trauma state
and the worst part is, it's not even her. But he doesn't know that. I know that, but it still makes me uncomfortable.
I still really, really liked this book. I really like the bunny girl.
The money girl?
The bunny girl.
The bunny. Okay, the bunny girl is great. I do like the bunny girl. But I just feel like this issue is way too slow. Why are the cops pounding on his door? What is going on? It felt like this issue went on way too long. The first issue was really great. It did a really great setup, did a really great kind of epilogue thing. Can I be honest with you? I actually would really enjoy the first issue if that's all it was. If the first issue was just a giant one-shot, kind of like Eden, I think it would have been really great.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the plot? I feel like this issue, other than, grossing me out, did not further the plot of this book. Okay. What is going on? Hear me out. Hashtag hear me out.
Hashtag hear me out.
This book is written by Paul Tobin, and I actually really like Paul Tobin. Let me recommend an even better Paul Tobin book published by Vault Comics called Heist, or How to Steal a Planet. It is very good. Not a lot of people talked about that book. Go pick up Heist or How to Steal a Planet. Jen is just wildly upset with me today. I feel it. I'm choosing violence.
To be honest, I get wildly upset every week when Swamp Thing comes out, and you're like, I'm just waiting for the trade. I'm like, but it's so good, and Amanda Waller shows up, and how can I convince you to like Swamp Thing? Those are the weeks that really just break my heart.
I'm just waiting for the trade.
Okay, Jen, if you have not tried it, go to Nola Donuts. Okay, so here's the thing. I do love Nola Donuts. They are probably, like, hands down some of my favorites. But they haven't been doing their regular donuts. They've only been, since the pandemic and, like, they shut down, they've only been doing the other donuts. I actually live a couple blocks away from Nola Donuts because I live a couple blocks away from Powell's. So I do love Nola Donuts a lot, but they haven't had their regular like fried donuts in a really long time. Otherwise, Nola Donuts is like Blue Star, Nola. I really like Phil's too. So, yep.
What other books did you read this week?
What other books did I read this week? Since I didn't get it last week and I had to get it for, not had to get it, but I did get the He-Man and Masters of the Universe book from last week. So I did pick this up and read it. I mean, it was
a He-Man book.
It was a He-Man book. You know, it is what it is. But the other books that I got, now that you said that Beyond the Breach wasn't your favorite book of the week, I think I know which one it was, I hope. But I also got Eve, number 3.
How was that?
It's good. Definitely going to a completely other place than I thought it was going to go. So it's getting not like wild, but they're just keeping embarking on a really interesting story. Post-apocalyptic, and this little girl. There was a anthropomorphized teddy bear that like comes alive, and it like kicks ass in this book. Like it literally murders people. This little teddy bear straight up murders people. So that was probably my favorite part.
Love that for him. Love that for him.
I've got 2 more books.
I would say I only have 1 more book, and it is my book of the week.
Okay. I'll talk about this one really quick. I know you have feelings about Bad Idea, but this book was really, really good. Written by Marguerite Bennett, art by Renato Geddes. Yeah. Really, really interesting. This woman needs to go to an abandoned movie lot, and like it's either like cursed and like there's murders and stuff, and it was really, really good.
I love Marguerite Bennett, and I feel like we don't get her. I remember about 4 years ago, it felt like Marguerite Bennett's name was everywhere, and then all of a sudden she vanished, and I got really, really sad. So the fact that she is back writing a horror book, which I feel like she thrives in. This is my plug, by the way, to please read Insects, published by Aftershock Comics and written by Marguerite Bennett, and it is about lesbian monsters who get revenge. It's great. Just please read it. It makes me sad because I want to read that book, but it's a Bad Idea book, and Bad Idea books around here, you ain't gonna find them.
I think, hear me out, I think the people who really like Bad Idea books are ones that have comic shops that they can get them in, and everyone who does not like Bad Idea just hasn't been able to read them.
I mean, I think
you're getting Bad Idea FOMO.
Here's a Bad Idea FOMO. I don't like that. So hear me out. But I need to stop saying "hear me out." Oh my god,
hear me out.
Now that you
know,
now that I know, I realize how much I say it. And I anybody who watches my show that knows me in IRL, please confirm. Do I say "hear me out" as much as I do in IRL as I do on live? But I've always liked the idea of the Bad Idea stories. I've always liked the concepts coming out and the creative teams. I hate the publishing style. I hate the fact that they penalize comic shops and make them sign a ridiculous contract. I just think it's stupid. I don't like it.
Yeah, I get it. I think that maybe my perspective is that they do end up making a lot more work for comic book stores because they're like a separate publisher and things like that. So there's a couple of extra hoops that the comic book stores, like, 1, have to go through in order to just get the books, and 2, all of the rules and stipulations about only being able to sell 1 per customer, and only being able to sell it at cover price, which that I'm fine with as a consumer. But then that just means that comic book stores are the ones who are basically putting up all the money to invest in this, but then don't reap the rewards of when books spike. So I do get that.
Makes sense. Still don't like it.
Toadman, I think this is probably the hottest opinion. I like their rules. It makes them stand out. I dislike their marketing. I kind of agree with that because I think that their marketing at the beginning of the pandemic was like, go to this website and press the red button until we get to 1 million, and we won't tell you what our bad idea is until we get to 1 million. And here's the thing. Every time you see a shitty commercial on TV, and you're like, that commercial was dumb. I hate this company. You're still talking about it. So even though Bad Idea supposedly is going away, which they're not, they're going to come back as something else. I don't know. I like their stories. I like that I have access to them. I really can't wait to see what they do next.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Okay. You've got one more book, and I have a feeling if it's this book, then I think I know what it is. Okay. On 3 or on 1? Let's do 1. 3, 2, 1.
Jen knows me so well.
Well, it was kind of process of elimination. This was the last one, and I'm kind of excited because you see who it's written by.
It is. It's written by Aubrey Sitterson.
Aubrey Sitterson.
Sitterson, who did No One Left to Fight and your new favorite book, Worst
Dudes, and Beef Bros, which was a Kickstarter that I backed, were basically like these 2 beefy like gym bros eat a whole bunch of pancakes, because you got to eat a whole bunch of pancakes if you go to the gym as much as they do and work out and basically like help fight social justice things. So yeah, I really loved.
All right, hot takes time. Ready? It's not really hot take. It's more of a realization that I'm very upset with. You see this little ugly dude on the cover.
Wait, what? This little
ugly dude that's on the cover.
10 out of 10 would smash. Is that the hot take?
No.
Okay.
This little ugly dude, but thank you. This little ugly dude is me. The entire time that I'm reading this book, I'm like, I am this little weird big chinned troll man. So Savage Hearts is a new series from Dark Horse Comics about yours truly. It is literally a biography about my life. It's the first appearance of Mars in comics as this little man thing. Basically, this little troll creature sees a very big, buff, beefy lady walking through the woods and falls in love with her immediately. And
definitely is the story of Mars.
Wants to do everything for her, is willing to die for her, and is like, hey, I'm going to help you on your adventure. And I don't know what else to tell you other than that's the story. There's a lot of really funny dialogue in this. I see myself on every single page. I also would die for the big beefy lady that I just want to crush. I want to be crushed. I want to be crushed. I mean, look at her. She has abs on her abs, you guys. I have never, ever... Listen, just swap this with Big Barda, and it is my life.
Ooh.
It is my life. Savage Hearts, it's just really fun. I don't know what more to tell you. It's about me. I would die for her. Read the book. There's my
yeah. What I would also say is that if you read this and you really liked it, you should pick up Barbaric by Vault Comics, because I feel like they are very similar, but not in the way where it's like you feel like you're reading, you can't tell which one you're reading. But I really do think that because of the dialogue and because of maybe even a little bit of, maybe not the art style, but maybe the coloring style, and just kind of the mythos that they are placed in.
Now you just make me really want issue 2 of Barbaric, because wow, that was a very good series and I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
I need more.
So I've really become a fan of Aubrey Sitterson, like everything that they have been writing.
It's your new favorite writer, it feels like. Is this the new Rom V?
I don't know about that, but pretty close, because like every single #1 issue, from The Worst Dudes, Beef Bros, what else came out? I've really just been liking Aubrey Sitterson, so I feel like this cover is cool when it's close up, but you don't really, like, it's kind of muddled.
It is.
So I hope that they do get a little bit better with their covers, because I think that if you saw this on a shelf, you may not pick it up. It's not dynamic enough.
I mean, I would. There's a beefy lady on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
This book was made for somebody like me.
Yeah.
I feel like that is an Aubrey Sitterson trope. I feel like every single book that they have read, or not read, wrote, is it's beef. It's just beef.
Beef. It's just beef. There's a lot of beefcake. As much as I am not a beefy perfect person whatsoever, I do enjoy the beefiness.
I mean, let's just take a look at No One Left to Fight. It's just beef.
Oh, wow.
It's beef. It's Dragon Ball beef.
Dragon beef.
Dragon Ball. Well, everybody described. I still have not read this book, but it is probably one of the most colorful books that I have ever seen in my entire life. But everybody, I remember when this book came out, people were describing it as Dragon Ball Z meets just beefy boys, and so I'm now dubbing it as Dragon Ball Beef.
Is that it for comics this week? Because I don't have any more comics books, but I know we talked a little bit about this, but I've got some questiony thingies.
That is it for comics. I do have you got a package last week from Eman.
That's right. I want to know what you got from Eman.
I also got a package from Eman. I went and opened it, preemptively.
Because the week that I did it, I just sat here and struggled trying to open it.
So that way we don't see Jen struggling on stream. I went and opened it. So let's see what I have.
Show me what you got.
Ooh. So again, this is all from C-List Eman.
Here, I'm gonna do this.
We're gonna link his channel in the bio. He's also the one that made the massively amazing intro on our channel. If you missed it, please watch the replay. I hope, does it play on the replay? Maybe. Does the intro play on the replay?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, go watch the replay.
I could even in a little bit play it at the end.
We can play it at the end.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and play it at the end.
So the first book that we got from C-List Eman, it is Commanders in Crisis. It is this Peach Momoko cover. Listen, I almost picked this up, even though I'm not reading this series. So now I'm actually really excited that I have it because I love Peach Momoko. We have Gideon Falls number 3. I really like this. I think this is a Greg Smallwood cover, and I am absolutely obsessed with Greg Smallwood. He's definitely
it almost looks like Jen Hickman.
It does. It does look like Jen Hickman. We have a fun little sticker here from C-List Eman, C-List Villains. Love that. Kind of reminds me of the Timekeeper from Loki.
Oh yeah, the little waffle thing.
The little waffle thing. We have a foily boy. This is Dark Knight's Death Metal number 2. Listen, I love shiny things. I'm very easy to entertain. Give me shiny stuff or give me death. We have Gen 13. Generation X. God, the 90s were just. Is this a J. Scott Campbell cover? I think this is a J. Scott Campbell cover, y'all. Look at that. I have a first J. Scott. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a first. It'd be funny if it was though. What else do we have? Oh, he must have known the Gwenpool Holiday Special. I've actually read this issue because it showed up in either a She-Hulk book or a Hawkeye book. I can't remember, but I did actually really enjoy this issue, so I'm actually really excited that I now own this so I can read it again, because I believe that was a library book. We have Witchblade collected editions. Witchblade is one of those characters that I always wanted to read and I never did, so I'm very excited that I have something that I can kind of jump into with Witchblade. And then the last one we have is a 2-parter. It's another Death Knight Metal book, but it's the Art Germ cover with Harley Quinn. And listen, I love big dogs. That's my favorite trope in the universe is crazy girls and their giant dog pets mounts. So I'm surprised I never picked this up. But we have this really awesome Bunny Mask exclusive cover. Ooh, I think you got this one too, Jen. And what I'm noticing is it says Aftershock Ambassador exclusive. So Eman, are you an Aftershock ambassador and you are not telling us? What are you hiding? But this is really cool. I really, really love this. I love this whole package. So Eman, thank you so much for sending us some fun goodies. I love packages. It's like Christmas. It's comics Christmas.
It is. And I did go ahead and I dropped Eman's link here in the chat. Please go sub him up because seriously, like the work he sent me a package as well, and just everything in it was perfect. He also did our intro, and man, that intro is absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, I'll go ahead and play it at the end. But please go sub him up because he's just absolutely fantastic.
Wonderful dude. We love him.
Wonderful dude. Yeah, and he said the little
stickers.
Very cool. Okay, are you ready to guess some things?
I'm ready to guess some things and to prove my knowledge and my superiority as that comic girl.
There's a ton of them here, and I won't go through all of them, but there's specifically some like I pulled some Batman and some DC ones specifically for you. So I'll go ahead and do these. Okay, so I'll wait until we get to a certain point. But the first one that we are going to do is we are going to do DC comic characters. There's 8 listed here, and some of them are going to be like a little bit more obscure.
So I just have to list 8 DC comic characters?
Mm-hmm.
Just
well,
8 in
the one that are on here.
Oh, I have to list the ones that are on there?
Mm-hmm.
Can I have hints?
Yeah,
do you know how many,
we'll see.
Do you know how many DC comic characters there are?
Mm-hmm. Like hundreds.
I could make a rap. I could do like the Pokey rap, but for DC Comics characters, I won't. See, I thought when you were explaining the game to me, I thought it was I just had to list 8.
No,
and if
you have
I
to list the 8 on this card.
Well, what are their specifications for picking? All right, so obviously Batman's on there.
Okay, so I'll give you a minute on the clock, and 3, 2, 1.
Batman, Wonder Woman, Robin, Aquaman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, The Flash, Lex Luthor, Superman, Superboy, Supergirl, Robin, Batgirl, Black Canary, Deathstroke. Hold on, I've got a cheat list. Big Barda, Batwoman, Huntress, Donna Troy, Power Girl, Batwoman, Deadshot, Black Manta, Hush, Red Hood. Who am I missing? I'm missing 2?
You're missing 4.
I'm missing 4 men or women?
A little bit of both.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can I have another clue?
So Batman's enemies.
Oh, it's a Riddler, Joker. Okay, that's okay.
Oh, that's 5, so 3 more.
So 3 more. Can I have another hint? Because I just ran through like
another Batman villain.
Okay.
That's a lady.
Oh, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn. Okay.
Okay, so the next 2 got a recent movie.
Shazam.
Yep, and then one was in a recent movie.
Was in a recent movie?
Mm-hmm. The actor.
Cyborg.
Yeah, yep.
I'm mad that I could guess that with literally like no information. So what were the ones that were on the card? Because I know I kind of just listed a million characters.
You literally did. Harley Quinn, Cyborg, Aquaman, Green Arrow, Batman, Shazam, Superman, Joker.
Huh. No Wonder Woman. That's weird.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's go ahead and do another one. You know what?
See, I thought I just had to list 8, and I was like, oh, this is going to be easy.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell you some of the ones that you already listed on that one are going to be on this one, and it's Batman's Rogues Gallery.
Okay, cool. So I got this. Harley Quinn. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we starting?
Yep, go.
Okay, minute clock. Harley Quinn, Joker, Bane, Riddler, Two-Face, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Scarface. Did I say Two-Face? Killer Croc. Hush. I know that's not going to be on there, but Deadshot, Deathstroke. Why my punchline's not going to be on this? Why am I thinking punchline?
Think about fear.
Oh, Scarecrow. I don't like the Scarecrow. He's scary.
Okay, you've got 3 more.
I have 3. Doctor Strange. No. Yeah, Stephen. No. Yeah, Doctor Strange is Hugo Strange.
Think about he has a daughter.
He has a daughter. He has a daughter.
One of his has a daughter.
Deadshot?
No.
Deathstroke? Is Catwoman on there? Do they still consider Catwoman a villain?
I guess not.
He has a daughter? He has a daughter? What Batman villains has a daughter?
Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
So the minute's up. So it's Joker, Harley Quinn, Bane, Scarecrow, Ra's al Ghul, Clayface, Riddler, the Court of Owls.
The Court of Owls doesn't count. That's a group.
Some of these are infuriating. Like 100%. Some of these
Clayface,
are absolutely...
I can understand. I should have gotten Clayface. And Ra's al Ghul I should have got, but I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I've got another Batman one, or there's, you know what, I'll do this one. Ooh. Oh, this one's gonna be This one's going to be hard. I won't do that one.
What is it? What is it?
Coming of age graphic novels, and they are none of the ones. I think that we'd maybe get one of them.
Lumberjanes.
Nope.
When were these cards published so I know when to stop?
I'll go ahead and just read them off. Fun Home, like maybe Persepolis.
That's not a coming of age.
Blue is the warmest color. Fetch. A+E Forever. Nylon Road. Tomboy, and American Born Chinese. I would have never gotten any of those. Yeah.
I mean, blue is the warmest color, maybe, but like, I would not consider Fun Home a coming of age novel.
Yeah. So anyways, there's that one. Let me see.
Who made these? I want to talk.
Yeah, we've got feelings. So the next one I'll do. This one is going to be Studio Ghibli movies. I'm going to go ahead and give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Princess Mononoke, Castle in the Sky, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, Earth Beyond the Sea, or Tales from the Earth Sea, Valley of Nausicaa.
Yeah, close. Nausicaa Valley of
the Wind, Ponyo. I've finally gotten 2.
I think. No. You need one more, and I can't remember which one it was.
Cat Returns.
I'm just gonna say you got it because you listed a whole bunch fast.
So, I didn't say My Neighbor Totoro. That was the one.
That was there. It is. So I'll just give that one to you because you literally got those in under a minute. So yeah, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, Castle in the Sky, Princess Mononoke, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, My Neighbor Totoro, and Ponyo.
Ponyo.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones here. Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh, no. How is that your favorite? How do you... Hear me out. Question. Okay, God, I said it again.
It's one of my favorites.
How do you watch that movie more than once? I watched it once and it ruined my whole life. If you want... Hear me out, chat. If you want a movie that's going to make you violently cry and sob, please watch Grave of the Fireflies because it will wreck your entire day or life or forever.
Okay, I've got another one here. I'm going to go back to DC, and I'm going to go to Gotham City Landmarks.
Oh, God. Hold on. Oh, God. Arkham Asylum, Blackgate Prison, Gotham City PD, Wayne Manor, Wayne Tower. Oh, shit, they're both on there? Mm-hmm. So I'm only missing 2?
You've got 4, so you've got 4 more. There's 8.
Oh, there's 8.
And you got Blackgate, Arkham,
Ace Chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck, what is Penguin's thing called? The Icebox Lounge. Mm-hmm. No, it's not even on there.
Mm-mm.
What the fuck?
So you've got 3 more to go.
What is the name of the theater where Bruce's parents were killed? I know that they played Zorro. Can I have that count? That's not on there?
It's not on there, but I do feel like it should count. Yeah.
It should count. The fucking alleyways.
Yeah.
Are a whole ass land. The death spot where Martha Wayne's pearls dropped to the ground because her husband bought her fake ass pearls. Joker's hideout? That's Ace Chemicals, kind of.
Yeah.
I give up.
Solomon Wayne Courthouse.
But not. I actually, can I be honest with you? I was legit gonna say the courthouse, but I couldn't think of it.
I would give that to you. Shane is saying here, oh yeah, and Bobby as well. Crime Alley, yeah.
Is that one? Does that count?
It doesn't. Old Gotham and Gotham Square, and I feel like I would have never gotten those. Yeah.
No. I got the ones that matter, and I got them so fucking fast too. I'm so proud of myself.
You really did. So like I said, some of these are like really infuriating. Okay, I'm gonna do this one because this one is superhero related. I'll do this one and then I'll do one more. Okay, so this one is going to be color-based superheroes and villains. It's
the DC and Marvel?
DC and Marvel. Mm-hmm. And go.
Okay, Yellow Jacket, Green Lantern, Red Lantern, Blue Lantern, Yellow Lantern. I bet that's my thought. Is to just leave.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Oh, Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm dumb as shit. Red Arrow.
Movie we just watched.
Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
TV show that we watched a little bit ago.
TV show
before Loki.
Oh, the Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm. This person was the dumbest character to show up in Infinity War, and Death should have been there, but instead they put this character in.
Hela?
No,
that's not a color.
No.
Red Skull.
Red Skull.
Green Goblin. I'm only saying it because Bobby said it.
Who do we want to show up in Teen Titans Academy? Who do we keep waiting for to show up?
Red X. Red Hood.
Oh, sorry. Red Hood. Mm-hmm.
Red Hood. You should have just said your scumbag boyfriend.
Oh, yeah,
but is there Black Canary? Damn.
I think there's only two more.
I would have thought that one would have been a banger.
Think Blue and Gold.
Booster Gold. Blue Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One more. This one I don't think you'll ever get. And Black Panther is not on here, and that makes me mad.
Oh,
that
man,
makes me mad that Black Panther is not on here.
That's a good one too. Marvel or DC?
Marvel. It's I'm gonna give you the color. Crimson.
Crimson Dynamo.
No.
Fuck. Crimson Viper.
Nope.
Fuck. Crimson Fox.
Mm-mm.
Crimson Elite.
Mm-mm.
Crimson. I give up.
It's the Crimson Avenger.
Who the fuck is a Crimson Avenger? Who is?
Yeah. So, like I said, with Crimson Avenger being on here, but Black Panther is not, is a crime.
But who is Crimson Avenger? Chat, tell me, who is Crimson Avenger?
Did I do this one? I didn't do this one. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more Batman, and this one's gonna be the last one. Batman comic book storylines.
And I have to guess which ones. Okay, when were these cards published? Just the question.
This was published like maybe 1 or 2 years ago. Yeah.
Court of Owls.
Mm-mm.
What? They picked the Court of Owls as a bad guy, but not as a storyline? That's bullshit. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right, Killing Joke. Dark Knight Returns. Batman Year One. Batman and Son. Long Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Under the Red Hood. Batman Hush. I need 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
Arkham Asylum.
No, that should have been on here.
Batman and Robin.
Nope.
Fuck. All right, hold on. I'm peeking. I'm cheating. It's fine. Oh shit. I have all Hush books. Heart of Hush. Can I have a writer?
I can't even think of the writers.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Broken City by Brian Azzarello. Mad Love.
Nope.
Can I have a time period? Is it like modern stuff or is it newer stuff?
Some of these are more like maybe 90s, 2000s.
No Man's Land.
No.
Nightfall.
Yes.
But what's the other one?
There's two more.
Not Nightfall. What is the one that came after Nightfall? There was Nightfall, there was No Man's Land, and then there was I don't think death metal is going to be on here, Bobby.
No.
I don't think it's that new. Everything written by Tom King ever. We said The Dark Knight Returns. We said Long Halloween. Oh, she's not here yet. But what about the sequel to Long Halloween, which is Dark Victory? Jen is gone. I have killed her. So that means I have extra time to think.
Oh, no, you don't.
Is Dark Victory on there? Okay, then I don't know the other 3.
Well, no, there's only 2 more, and it was Rest in Peace and Contagion.
They put Contagion on
I'm
there?
telling you, like, there's ones that, like, Long Halloween was literally the first one that I threw out when I did this one, but then, yeah.
Contagion? I'm actually surprised Batman R.I.P. was not on there.
I said that one. R.I.P.
Oh, did you?
Rest in peace.
I'm stupid.
Sorry.
I don't call it Rest in Peace when I think of that storyline. I call it Batman R.I.P. That
was funny.
I'm a big Contagion. Whomst willingly read Contagion? You're gonna put Contagion, but you're not gonna put No Man's Land on there? What? Blasphemy. Also, as somebody who hates Batman,
yeah, you just listed like
I sure do know a lot of Batman stuff.
Ugh. So this, I got this game. There's this board game place here. There's a couple of game places, but there's one kind of nearby where I live called Mock's Boarding House, and I end up going there like every couple of weeks and picking out some games. There's another game that I saw on TikTok that I'm really excited to play, and it's like a color game where you have to like guess colors. So I'll be excited to play that when I get around to it.
That is exciting.
So that was really fun. I also have this other box where I have Marvel trivia. So I looked, there's not a DC box, and of course there's not like indie comics box, but so
we'll make our own indie trivia.
There we go. So that's pretty much everything that I have. There's 34 people in the chat. I wish that we had more to talk about. But I think
it was such a light week this week.
It really was. So hopefully.
Has anybody forecasted the comic haul for next week? What is next week?
Ooh, let's take a look
for us.
I want to know in the chat. What did everyone else pick up this week other than what we maybe kind of already discussed? Did you all pick up anything that we didn't pick up? Anything we should be picking up that's not like Cult of Dracula and You Promised Me Darkness?
Oh, next week we get the second issue of Supergirl World of Tomorrow by your boy Tom King. So I am excited. Are we going to get a flashback sequence? Am I going to drop this book from my pool after the second issue? Find out on the next episode.
You know what I did end up getting this week, and it was from last week, the Justice League book that you told me about.
Oh, the animated Justice League Infinity.
Yeah, I ended up picking that up. I feel like I need to reread it again. Maybe it was one of the last books that I read and my brain was just shutting down, but I did really enjoy it. So,
which is exciting. So next week we are seeing Blue and Gold #1 is next week. We also have Moon Knight, Many Deaths of Layla Starr.
My favorite. That's going to be the penultimate issue.
A new Nightwing issue, so you know that I'm very excited about that. Supergirl World of Tomorrow, Superman and the Authority, which I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, but that Superman is looking extra beefy, so I may have to pick it up.
Hims is a thick boy.
He is a very thick boy. What else do we have coming out?
Shadecraft. I don't know if you were still reading that one.
I am not, but Moon Knight I'm ridiculously excited for. I'm really hoping that that's going to be a good issue, because I feel like the only Moon Knight book I've ever really been able to connect with is the Jeff Lemire series.
Mother of Madness comes out next week.
Mother of Madness does come out next week. I'm very excited about that one.
There's another one called Dark Blood. And who is the creative team? Because I feel like that was what really got me into this. Latoya Morgan and Walt Barnon. The cover artist was Valentine Delandro. Okay.
The trade paperback for Bliss comes out, so I've been wanting to pick that one up. So I may, hopefully my shop has it. And if they do, I'll probably pick it up. We've got another issue of Darth Vader. Find out if I actually drop it from my pool finally, like I've been trying to do. For the
literally cannot. Weeks. You cannot.
Alice in Leatherland #4 is next week.
Oh wow. Philadelphia #15.
And you had mentioned Dark Blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dark Blood I didn't recognize by name, but I had recognized it by cover. And let me say, I'm actually really, really excited for Dark Blood. I hope that it gives us some like Lovecraft Country-esque vibes. Maybe some Black Cotton, maybe like what a Black Cotton book should have been like. Really, really excited for that. So there's a lot of good stuff next week.
One of my favorite books, My Little Pony Transformers, is coming out next week.
Can't wait to hear Jen talk about that.
There's also a hero. Yeah, I will talk about, and it'll literally just be like, I really don't care for Transformers or My Little Pony, but I really like the two of them together. Also, Tales from Harrow County, Fairfolk, so like a new Harrow County. Yeah.
Yeah, so next week it'll be a big week, which is good because we're ending this week a little early.
Oh, goodness. Trailer Park Boys is getting a comic book. I love Trailer Park Boys so much.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and I love it so much. So yeah, there's a good amount of stuff coming out next week that I'm excited about. We're being told we should get Ghost Money, Death in Dubai. It's an oldie but goldie. Got it, oldie goldie.
Oldie goldie.
Homesick Pilots. Very cool. Well, I guess that's going to be it, folks. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm going to go ahead and try to drop the link for Eman if it lets me. So I really hope that you all go back and give his channel some love. And I'm going to go ahead and play the fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and let the intro that he made kind of sweep us off our feet out. So thank you everyone for being here. Mars, thank you for being here. And I hope everyone has a good rest of your Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
Do, do, do.